Hi, Jack.
Hey.
So I'm Johnny again, be your physical therapist for the day.
Alright.
So like we kind of talked about last time, we noticed some things in how you walk, and that kind of led us to think that maybe when your gluteus muscles are going to be a little bit, little weakened. We went ahead and we tested that, right? And we saw that once we tested that, your hip kind of dropped a little bit. And we went through kind of the mechanics of, why and how we're going to get that better, right? So today, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with kind of the simplest way to start training that. And a lot of times it's just going to be with standing on one leg, right? And it sounds kind of silly and it sounds really repetitive, but standing on one leg, once we lift that right leg up, it's going to force us to have to use that left gluteus muscle to make sure that we're not tipping over. And our body responds really well when we do reactive things, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So when we lift our leg up, it's kind of like an internal reaction that our body has, and it's going to tell that glute to fire to make sure we're staying nice and stable. Okay. So as you see here, I put some tape across your. So we call ASIS. Essentially, it's just two lane marks on the front of your hip bone, and that just helps us know if your hip is stable or if it's moving around. So we're going to use that piece of tape to tell us if when we stand on one leg, if your hip is dropping, and essentially we're going to actually use the mirror in front of us, and that we're going to use that kind of as a little bit of a feedback for you, just to make sure that our hips are staying nice and stable. Okay.
Sounds good.
So it sounds pretty simple, right? So the first thing we're going to do, Jack, is I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to actually get down here on the knee, right?
Okay.
So I have you here by the belt.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is, actually I'm going to stand up and get behind you a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my hand on this muscle that I want you to activate, and I'm going to push down through it. Okay. So I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
I want you to lift that right leg up.
Okay.
And as soon as you lift that leg up, I'm going to go ahead and push down. And me pushing down is going to help that muscle kind of get some feedback and say, oh crap, I need to turn on. Okay.
And I should be looking at the mirror.
And you look at the mirror, just make sure that's nice and stable. We're going to go ahead and hold for a second and come back down. We'll kind of see how it goes, and then if we need to progress, we will. Okay?
Sounds good.
So, right behind you, got you here.
Okay.
So on 3, 2, 1, lift. Okay, and back down. Okay, let's do that a couple more times. How's that sound?
Okay.
So 3, 2, 1, go. Nice, back down. Okay, let's do it one more time. 3, 2, 1, go. Good. Okay, so how's that feel?
Good.
Feels pretty good? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm actually going to take away my hand. Alright, so now I'm going to keep on holding onto the belt, make sure you're not moving around a little too much. But I'm going to take away this hand that's been on that muscle, giving it a little bit of facilitation. So I want you to really think about having to turn that on as soon as that leg comes up. Okay? Cool. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing. So 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, back down. Okay, now let's do that again. 3, 2, 1, go. Very nice. And how's that feeling?
That's better, yeah.
Okay. So you're seeing that tape is staying pretty level. Okay. So essentially, Jack, we want to work on this again to get you back to walking with a more efficient gait pattern, right? So kind of the next step that we're going to take is we're going to start incorporating this training into walking. Okay. So same thing. I'll be right behind you the whole time. What I want you to do is I want you to take a small step forward with your left foot, and then what we're going to do is when I say go, we're going to go ahead and start putting some weight through this left leg. We're going to lift up your right leg like if you're going to take a step forward. And then same thing, we want to make sure that our hips are nice and stable and come back down. So essentially, instead of just coming up onto the one leg, holding and coming back down, now we're going to incorporate a little bit more walking, which is what we want you to get back to eventually.
And I should still look in the mirror.
Yep, so still using this as a guide, we're going to keep using that as some feedback, okay?
Alright, sounds
so
good.
left foot is nice in front. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a step forward. Okay, and let's go ahead and bring that left foot forward again. Okay, and let's do that again. Very nice. That's looking really good. Let's do one more of these.
Okay.
So last one. Very nice. Good job. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. That's looking a lot better than it was last week. So we're going to keep working on that, and hopefully we'll get you walking a little bit faster, and we'll make this a little bit more challenging as well to make sure that our hip is working the way it needs to work.
All right, sounds good.
Any questions?
That's it.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the high five.
All right.